We're back. Yes, God, dog. The don't look so in despair. The Chinese weather balloons, though. We are back. I guess we just needed to update the program. Look, man, we've been gone for 2 weeks, Shawty. We have been gone for 2 weeks, man. It's hot in here. You there, brother? Can you hear me? No, you can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold myself in the road too now.
This episode is still brought to you by Emodia, baby. America, our food is some bullshit, bro. I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you, America. I'm blaming you, America. But we were talking about let's just keep it going. Shout out to those that join us are back. If you're listening back to this, you won't hear any of this because this will all be edited out. But for those that are live, we appreciate y'all. We're talking about Coco Golf. You said they erased all the media from the internet because they don't want to see a strong black woman. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure if that's what they want. Is this young black woman standing up for herself, being very vocal, and ultimately being right? That was the part that was.
She was correct.
She knew the rules inside and outside, and yeah, she was standing up for herself. And I think that if you are the U.S. Open, you really don't want to have your referees as the people who are supposed to be, maintaining the integrity of the game being that wrong as she was pointed out that you're not supposed to sit down. Girl, clearly sitting down. But can we also get to the we're not gonna risk the reaction video. But one thing that is reminiscent specifically in these type of conversations is Laura Sigmund went right to the media and started with the crocodile tears.
Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up. How do you feel about the opponent going and crying, talking about I was just putting on a show?
Well, we don't care, and I want to be very clear about this. This has nothing to do with race. The first person I thought of is Chris Paul. When Chris Paul does things that are gamesmanshipy, we don't care about his race. It's low integrity, and what he's doing. This is the same very thing,
so
man. Nobody is attacking
Chris Paul is low integrity.
Coco is black and you are white. No, what you did was low brow, was low integrity. You knew you should have known that, and I believe you did, but you did it in spite of. So I don't want to see these crocodile tears as soon as people call you out for doing things that are against the rules. I don't want to hear that.
Like
Play
I
within
said,
the rules. Do what you're supposed to. Ain't nobody attacking you. You know how you gotta tell people that. Nobody jumping you, dog. Nobody doing nothing. Nobody mistreating you.
It was 10 of them. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, bro. No, it wasn't. It was one person. Whooped your ass the whole time.
Exactly. Nobody jumped you because people are like, yeah, man, they came from everywhere. The media's against me. Same thing we said about your girl who was running track and smoking weed. Nobody jumping you. You just gotta stay within bounds. And if you don't,
so we're gonna go there with Sha'Carri. Shout out to her, man.
Yeah.
For the is this controversial for me to say? People are saying she's coming back. And I'm like, she came back. She completed a comeback. I'm like, what did she come back from? Like, and not to be mean, because I do think that it is commendable to come back from last place. Like, that is, and then to set world records. Like, she was going through a lot of stuff at the time. But, I mean, you ain't really go nowhere now. But she's great, man. She refocused. She is the poster child of slabs. Stay low and build.
Yeah. And I support all of that. I want that to be a thing. That should be that's what we want. But when you do stuff, it's rules in both cases. The rules are the rules. We didn't make the rules. Honestly, in Sha'Carri's case, that's not a rule the majority of us even support. But that going into the Olympics, like they've been mired, all of those type of sports have been mired in all type of doping. So they're gonna drug test you. It is what it is. Now, Laura Sigmund, bruh, you should know the rules. You're a professional. And if you can't sit down, don't sit down, bro. Coco ain't sit down, you're getting an advantage.
A lot of pressure on Coco to be the next Williams Serena type, Venus type player for. Is it tough to say like representation for black women in tennis? That's what the Williams sisters were for so long.
Heavy is the head, but from what I saw, I appreciate her standing up for herself, keeping it real, and knowing the rules. Like, you can't do that. That's against the rules. And telling the referee, because a lot of times, women and again minorities don't feel the most comfortable speaking to the enforcer of the rule, whatever that person may be. But being able to state your case clearly, effectively, non-offensively, and being abreast of the rules. Congratulations. The rest of y'all read the rule books or stop cheating. It's one of the two. Either you're cheating or you don't know the rules. And
having the maturity to explain and not back down. Explain her position and not back down against the media, who, the media tries to be and have the power and influence. And she was like, nah, I knew I was right. I wish I would have done it sooner. Yeah. I mean, so shout out to Coco. All right, man. We got one team right now that's well, I got a couple, but I got one team right now that's doing right now. Is it time? The Bravos.
Rave.
The Bravos.
There we go, baby. The best team in baseball. Y'all know why y'all here today. We feeling good in this motherfucker, man. 8-2 over the last 10 games. My boy Ronnie, he had to save his bride. They got married on the road trip. He 30 home runs, 60 stolen bases, first person in MLB history ever to do it. We had Darius Vines. We tell y'all every week what? More black baseball. What we had? More black baseball. Major League debut. And he won the game. We traveled 6,000 miles. We're number one in NL East. We're number one in baseball. And where we also number one? In your hearts. Boy, it feels good to have a team that know how to act. Oh, Lord, it's going to be short because after this, we get ugly.
That's why I just sat back. I was like, bro, I know Norwood about to go off right now, bro.
No, the rave light is on, baby. The rave light is on in here, man.
So we're gonna go over. He said all the points of the segment, so we're gonna go over them one by one. In the last 10 games, the Braves are 8-2. They've had 3 straight series wins. Yes, Ronald Acuna got married and hit a home run in every game.
Trying to send they was gonna send his wife away for like 3 months. He said, "Nah, that's dead. Set it up. We gonna get married on the road trip the same day that I break the MLB record."
And goes has 30 home runs and 60 stolen bases. And let's stop here. We traveled 6,000 miles, so he was going coast to coast. Let's stop here with the 30-60. Ronald Acuna has been the favorite for the MVP all year until August. And Mookie Betts had one of the best 60-day periods I've seen in baseball. He got to like 37 home runs. He's batting like over 3. He's almost at 350. Yeah, more black baseball. Yeah. And folks started to weigh in on Acuna, like, because Acuna went into a little, it's crazy. You know how good you have to be if you're Ronald Acuna that when you don't hit home runs but still hit over 275 that they say you're in a slump, right? He was still hitting 275, just wasn't hitting home runs because everybody else is hitting home runs. So then when he got to, and Acuna, as good as he is, I know it, you know it, sometimes it works for a player. You got to have a little bit of arrogance. And he's like, dog, I'm breaking records, and y'all trying to say Mookie's going to take me. I think Ronald Acuna went straight into that Dodger series and said, I'm going to prove I'm the MVP. Home run, leadoff home run, 30-60. Yeah.
And one other thing. He's had a few web gems in this time. People forget about his defense because his offense is so impressive. He has a cannon. Don't try him out there. And he'll go get it. And he went and got a few. And I feel like his offense is so dominant that people don't even look at the defense, and the defense is maybe just as good.
Yeah, he has a cannon for an arm. But he's got 30-60, and we still have like 40 games left. Like they are predicting he may get to 40-70, 40-80.
And that's the reason. And I don't, we have a dog fight with the Dodgers every year. Not a team that we necessarily love, but I have an immense amount of respect for Freddie Freeman, of course, and Mookie Betts. I ain't taking nothing away from Mookie. He has been a monster. He has made it a race again. Freddie ain't no slouch either out there. But just the fact that nobody's ever done 30 home runs and 60 stolen bases, to me, that solidifies him as the NL East MVP. And I think that he's going to push closer to 40-70, maybe 40-80, because the way he's stealing bases.
Well, you know,
prayers. He got that pitch clock down. He knows how to manipulate a pitcher.
He's very smart. He's got the stealing of the bases down because you can only try to pick him off twice. He's got it. I will say Ronald Acuna has at this point, I think, locked up the MVP. And because you can't really, what makes it so good is that you can't really pitch around him yet. Yeah, Duke out here Duke is trying to beat Clemson. We gonna have a running commentary of Duke and Clemson.
1 through 5. Tough sledding, my boy.
Yeah, like so. And you know what I've noticed? So let's finish this graphic. We're first place in the NL East, best record in baseball. You know what I noticed? When you play this well, we're not. I like Alex Anthopoulos and Brian Snitker because they work together because they don't just sit on their hands. Once we win the series, if you've noticed, the last game we call somebody up. Every time we're going to call a pitcher up. We need pitching. Hey, what did Mickey Andrews say with Florida State? Hey, they got to get the diaper wet sometime. Like, we're going to bring them up. And we brought Darius Vines up and on the road. We brought him up on the road. And he won that game, 6 innings. I think he had 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 4 to 5 strikeouts. He had a very good. We're searching, and by winning the series and not winning the series in the last game, winning the first 2 or 3 games of the series, it allows us to explore our farm system, which just keeps the machine going.
And what they're doing right now is they're being able to win the game, but they're also able to tinker with the team and figure out, hey, when it's time for the postseason, who are we going to be able to count on? Who are we going to put on this final roster? Because that has been vital to our success in the past. Remember, that's how, Soler got tossed in right there at the end. Those type of little moves is exactly what's going to make the team go from being a very good regular season team to each one of those slots is going to be extremely valuable to hopefully making us a championship team. And what did I just tell y'all about 1 through 5? There is nothing here for you but home runs and thoughts and prayers. Ronald Acuna, 31 home runs. Ozzie Albies, 28 home runs. Austin Riley, 32 home runs. Matt Olson, back with 43 home runs, and I think he is the MLB leader. And there he is, he who shall not be named. Y'all remember he started out the season.
Marcell Ozuna. I'm saying the name.
Nah, I need to kind of make it here. And he has hit 32 home runs.
He has earned his name shall be said.
Comeback player of the year.
Marcell Ozuna. Also, I want to point out about this. They've hit 166 home runs. They've hit 166 home runs that are 1 through 5. That's better than 17 teams in the major leagues. You know what I mean? So, also, what's crazy about this graphic is Ozzie Albies only has 28 home runs. He's been out for like a month. He's been out for like a month, which means we can get better. So, I mean, the Braves are out here, dog. And then Ronald Acuna is the fastest. Oh, I'm sorry. Second fastest, Mike Trout.
Only two people in MLB history to ever do this.
Mike Trout, 100, and Ronald Acuna, 150 career stolen bases and 150 career home runs.
I wish I could find my phone, but do you hear that? You hear that? You hear the Hall of Fame caller? Yeah.
I have an impromptu question for you.
Yes, Hall of Fame. Yes.
If the Braves win the World Series and Ronald Acuna wins the MVP, will he have had one of the best starts in MLB history, similar, comparable to Patrick Mahomes for the Kansas City Chiefs?
Woo! 2 World Series,
MVP, 2 championships, an MVP. Patrick Mahomes won the passing title. Him winning stolen base title. It may be you may be seeing the Patrick Mahomes of baseball, and it's crazy because there's so many other good players. We still got Shohei Ohtani, but it's like.
I hate to tell you this, and I hate to have to harken back to this, but we paid this. We sure.
It don't matter what we did in the past. He gonna make up for it next. I'm telling you, they might go to arbitration before the season over. They gonna have to give him something. They gonna have to brave for life.
And Ronnie, I love you. That contract is, and I said it then, and I said it before he like blossomed. I could just see it. I was like, oh, this contract is criminal. Now. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is theft by force. Pay that man what he is owed. Please. And also let me go ahead and I want to say this. This ain't Freddie Freeman. This ain't Dansby Swanson. Pay that man. I do not want to see him walk out that door. He needs to stay here with me.
I think letting Dansby Swanson... Oh, come on, man. There we go. I think letting Dansby Swanson walk allowed for the door to stay closed for Ronald Acuna. And I understand. Dansby, I love you. But if that's the case, I understand. So, and the thing about Ronald is he doesn't shot. Dog, did you see the people run on the field for him?
2 of them.
But
and I said this all season since the very beginning. MLB, y'all are not selling Ronnie right, bro.
They're starting to. I finally saw him in a commercial. I finally saw him in an ESPN commercial for the Major League Baseball where he was taking everybody's bags. Oh yeah, he's waving at them and gritty. It told him y'all too small.
Yo, and he immediately untucked hat backwards. You can tell he's like, nah, I'm just playing baseball. I'm having time of my life.
You can tell he's 24. Tyler is 26. Like you can tell he's. Could you imagine being the best baseball player or one of the best at anything on earth? You're one of the 5 best anything on earth, and you have millions and millions of dollars. I'd be that same way too.
Hey, you know who was really great for? Mike Harris. Mike Harris has no pressure. He's able to play fantastic baseball, learn from
Mike
one of the
Harris
best
is
in the game.
So good.
And no
He's the best center fielder.
Like, nah, y'all gonna watch Ronnie. I'm just gonna be over here kicking ass.
And the thing about Mike Harris is he came in his rookie year and was top 3 best center fielders in the game. Rookie year. You know who else does stuff like that? Like the Kevin Durant, LeBron James. Like to come in and be a top 3 player at your position day one.
Don't forget about Spencer strikeout. That's all he do is strike people out. He done struck out so many people. They be like, oh yeah, nobody strike people out like him. Man, once again, and see, this is the difference. This is what other teams look like. It just don't. It is the curl just don't curl right.
The Kiko Hernandez.
I'm so happy. I'm honored to have these guys on our team. Alex Anthopoulos legitimately has put together a monster of a team. East, you know how they do those like anonymous quotes, and they said, yeah, the NL East, and it's an NL East manager who said it. It's wrapped up for the foreseeable future. If you're a fan of other teams in the NL East, good luck.
Ronald Raisel Iglesias is your NL leader in saves in the month of March. I mean, month of August.
Yes. Also, reliever of the month. We've been able to share. Everybody gets their own shine. I got to go back to Ozuna. Ozuna has been kicking ass. He low key put the team on his back for a little bit, and to be able to classify who carries the weight on the do it alone. I'm glad at least one of my teams got some sense. And Duke and Clemson in a shootout. Can't tell who's a better team. And that will round out the pregame. I'm excited because we're going to come back, do a little HBCU football. Everything is football. And y'all see what the shirt says so you know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. It is.
Am I back? I'm back.
Yep.
Hey man, we ended the pregame. Iglesias is the best reliever of the month. 7-0 in terms of save opportunities. Only 7 hits, 17 strikeouts. He is a beast. Shout out to him. We will be right back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 118 of the Splashcast. Be right back.
Sugar never had a nose full of dough. It's all good, folks. Coke, how you wanna coke? Drink what you wanna drink. Smoke what you wanna smoke. Stroke who you wanna stroke. Just as long.
Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
Too many chips to care less about a fit. I'm in some dirty ass kicks watching YouTube. I'm cutting grass and designing like it's FUBU. I got a real thick gal wanna sit on my lap. No BBL, you can tell she just built like that. You ever walk into a spot knowing every bitch a pop? It's not a whole lot of niggas that done felt like that. But there I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. Yeah, it's me with the inside out tee. Low key, only short for a large fee. There I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. Yeah, that's him. Pay the arm in the limb for him. Cause they know the hoes jump out the gym for him.
Gucci Mane and J. Cole, the collaboration. They pulled the band, woke the bell out of hibernation. These boys exaggerate and do a lot of fabrication. But ain't no gimmicks in my game, this shit ain't animation. Now Mike Will made it, and Gucci Mane slayed it. Think I'm the dopest rapper ever, niggas overrated. The paint got eliminated, the top decapitated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Big ups to Fayetteville, shout out Mechanicsville. I keep it true, go from Thomasville to Summerhill.
I ain't never gonna lie to you. I ain't never thought I would hear somebody say big up to Fayetteville, being from Atlanta.
Hey man, let WAP do. Man, let WAP flourish.
Hey now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 118 of the Splashcast. We have been dodging the Chinese balloons for the last 30 minutes, but we here. If you have a chance, if you're listening to the playback, go back and listen to the pregame that we talked about. Coco Gauff standing up for herself. Black women killing track as well. We're here. Y'all know what it is with episode 118. Oh, also, in the pregame, we talked about the Braves. Ronald Acuna is out there going crazy. We talk about HBCU news, best player in baseball, HBCU news around the culture, as well as news around football and basketball. Let's get started with our HBCU news around the culture, something that's near and dear to both of our hearts. Kind of a mixed bag of weekend for me. HBCU. HBCU. So the Division I rankings after week 1 were released. North Carolina Central won their game. They played Winston-Salem State, beat them 52-0. They look like the powerhouse that they've been for the past 3 to 5 years. FAMU opened up their season against Jackson State, who was 1-0. Jackson State opened up their season in Atlanta against South Carolina State and won that game going away, only to go to the Peach Blossom Classic and lose to FAMU 28-14, I believe. 28-10. I'm sorry, I gave y'all 4 points. My bad. And FAMU started out. And FAMU started out 21-0 in the first quarter, including returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Morgan State.
70 yards.
Got to pay attention to Morgan State, man. Hampton. Oh, Alabama State, man. Look, this is why it's a mixed bag for me. Look, Dooley, down there in Baton Rouge, bro. You done had a whole season of bad quarterback play, and you supposed to be the quarterback man. You now at season 2 with bad quarterback play in the first one. Southern lost to Alabama State 14-10. They scored on the first drive and scored on the second drive and didn't score no more. And both teams run the up-tempo, no huddle offense. And the score is 14-10. When you talk about some bad football, that game was some bad football. And Alabama State just had a wide receiver that was going crazy. And then we get to something that brightened my day. As you can see, the HU on the chest of Norwood. Hampton University defeated Grambling State. And Tremaine, shout out to Tremaine. He said this as somebody that was on the Hampton team, and he keeps up with it. The MEAC has dominated the SWAC. The MEAC has dominated the SWAC. I don't think Hampton has really lost one of these MEAC to SWAC games. I think.
And this
go ahead.
This was a very important game for us. This is a tone setter for us. We needed to come out in this game and look like somebody. We know that the CAA schedule is going to be very tough on us. So the first thing that you can do is beat the HBCU teams, and then see what you do in your conference games. But for us to move forward as a program, to continue to, hopefully recruit some better players and move in that right direction, first thing you got to do is beat. I know that CAA is our peers, but I think we're kind of punching up there versus the rest of the HBCUs. We need to beat them. And Hugh Jackson has done a wonderful job down there with Grambling. But Hampton's offense has been very impressive. The defense was, I'm going to tell you, I watched the majority of this game. The defense was on the field for a very, 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 very long time.
They played they played almost 100 plays.
And also, as a person who watched this game, HBCUs, you got to clean this up. For the first quarter, there was no clock. So you're just looking at, it's the first quarter. That was the longest first quarter of any football game I've ever experienced in my entire life. And I've watched and played in a lot of football. And Hampton's offense was moving. Mm-hmm. So we were moving fast. Then you get to Grambling, and they're moving legitimately at a snail's pace. At one point, I was just telling them, let them score. Get the defense off the field. They were out there so long. I felt bad for them. I'm like, it ain't that many people. It's only so many people you can rotate in and out.
He runs a pro-style offense.
And the defense is interesting. I think it got tired towards the end of the game because we had a big lead and then we kind of gave it all back. I think we can do some things as far as clock management, but the offense looks impressive. That quarterback looks good. We need to win our HBCU games. We have a big game coming up in 2 weeks against I think we got Norfolk State next week. And
Yes,
then
we
after
do.
that, we have
Norfolk.
Howard.
Norfolk. I can't do it. I got to shout out the wife, man. Norfolk State. Virginia State calls themselves Big State. Beat Little State because Norfolk State was started by a Virginia State alum, I believe. So Virginia State beat Norfolk State. Division II upset Division I AA for those that understand that vernacular.
And let's go ahead and behold green and gold. Give them two losses here, and then we go beat the Bison. I'm excited to see what Hampton can do. It's a very, very important season for this coaching staff. I think they know what's on the line here. Every game that you win, it makes things a little bit easier. And
you build your case. You build your case to stay. Yeah.
Yes, because there will be a case built. Either it will be to stay or it will be to go. And, we want to see our teams prosper. We don't want to continue to look for, a new coach, but you got to win to stay in. It's that simple.
South Carolina State will be looking for a new coach, not because they were going to fire the coach. It turns out head coach Buddy Pugh is set to retire after the 2023 season. Buddy has been there for almost 30 years and has been over there in some capacity for over 30 years. He has led South Carolina State to multiple HBCU national championships, including 2 years ago against Deion. They won the HBCU national championship. I remember, of course, South Carolina State is near and dear to Norwood and myself. My grandmother went there. My dad grew up on the campus. His mother went there. Good friend Elaway, his parents went there. South Carolina State is one of the blue blood HBCUs of the nation. And Buddy Pugh and his father, who have also coached there, have been there for almost the entirety of the football program. So shout out to Coach Pugh as he retires. Shout out to Jennifer. Jennifer went to Hampton. That is her grandfather. So he is retiring. So shout out to the whole Pugh family.
Congratulations. Job well done. And before we go on, I did want to go back to FAMU in Jackson State. One of the biggest concerns we've had all season was what was Jackson State going to look like under the, T.C. Taylor starting his legacy there, and they're losing a lot of players. I am a little concerned, but I went into the season very concerned about this. Losing, I think they had the second or third most transfers of any team in college football, period, on any level. That is very scary. T.C. Taylor has a lot to manage here. And, I know that everybody's excited right now because Colorado beat TCU, but this may be one of the unfortunate parts of collateral damage here is Jackson State might be slated to struggle this season. And if it is, I would just tell you, all HBCUs, let this be your case study on how you handle things going forward.
So normally I would say I hope Jackson State bounces back, but I don't because they actually play Southern next week. And Southern is looking to come off. So
maybe next week.
So I mean,
what I tell you about Billy? Hey man, I wish you the best of luck. Somewhere else,
man. Maybe y'all win week 4. Like that's how I'm looking at it. So
thoughts and prayers.
Jackson State. I will say this about Jackson State. They weren't favored to win this game. FAMU is nationally ranked. They're ranked number 25 in 1AA. And they're going to go up. FAMU is looking past the HBCU national championship game and going to the playoffs. That's where FAMU was aiming. So they are. I don't want to say. Again, we talked about MEAC and SWAC. If FAMU come from the MEAC and come out here and start dominating the SWAC, it's y'all got to get together over there, Southern and Jackson State and Alabama and all the old swag schools. You can't let a MEAC team come in here and just dominate. But it's happening. It's already happening. Real quick. Second year NFL players on the 53-man rosters from HBCUs. Marquise Bell, FAMU alum, made the Cowboys roster, which we kind of figured he would. James Houston, JSU alum, he has made the Lions roster. Jacoby Durant, he's probably going to start now that Jalen Ramsey's hurt. Was from South Carolina State. Josh Williams, Super Bowl champion, who actually got a pick in the Super Bowl, from Fayetteville State. And then Jatir Carter from Southern University, Bears offensive lineman. Those second-year players in one of the deepest HBCU drafts that we've had in the last 10 to 20 years have all made the team, man, which tells me that the talent is moving up.
Yes. And for me, I guess we'll get to this, I guess, now. Well, not yet. But one of the things that I want to make sure that we highlight is HBCU players are good enough to play at the very next level. This is on the heels of Shedeur Sanders playing a very surgical game against TCU. He was an HBCU football player last season. And I want to make it very clear that if he was that good last season, if he's that good this season, he was that good last season. And I think that sometimes that get missed. Also, Travis Hunter, another HBCU kid who went right to D1, went right to a team that played in the playoffs last year and dominated TCU. He dominated them on both sides of the ball. But let's go ahead and actually get into the rest of college football right now.
And shout out to shout out to Sneaky. Sneaky said that actually Marquise Bell is moving from safety to linebacker, and what I always call the Mickey Andrews move. Mickey Andrews coached at Florida State and one of the first guys to take his safeties and make them linebackers and make his linebackers defensive ends, and starting that trend of smaller outside linebackers that rush the passer. Moving on, man. India Pofis, a soccer and track athlete from Cleveland, Ohio, has made the Bears team as a kicker. This is Chicago Bears?
Yeah, no. Shaw U.
Okay, I was about to say. that deserves more press. I was like, that?
That almost got me too. I was all over the internet like, wait. She made the 53-man roster. But no, she is the kicker for Shaw University. Still an accomplishment. Shout out to HBCUs giving women a chance. I hope she has a fantastic season. There's no way that we weren't going to highlight that, and we will keep an eye on Indy and continue to make sure that everybody else knows these type of things, man. Congratulations. And I guess, what does that make you, a three-sport athlete? Football,
3-sport athlete.
And soccer.
Yeah, and also shout out Isaiah Land that made the team for the Dallas Cowboys.
I was wondering where he was going to get picked up. Somebody pick up Jadakiss Bonds, man. Hey, Falcons.
They didn't pick him up. They waived him?
Yeah, Packers waived him. Somebody give that kid a chance, man. That dude, and he played good in the game that he played.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
I legitimately think he's an NFL wide receiver. I think he just needs to be given a chance.
I agree. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 2-minute break. Then we'll be right here for football. We're going to talk about Utah.
I'm going to make a drink.
We're going to talk about Utah. I ain't really happy with Georgia now. I ain't really happy with UGA either. Y'all take 2 seconds.
Y'all off this week. This ain't y'all week. Y'all had a warm-up game.
You got 2 warm-up games.
What really?
We'll play nobody next week.
What really matters. UNC, USC, the debacle at with LSU, Dion, and then go ahead and get what you get. Go ahead, everybody who ready to shoot, get your guns. And that's it. I'm make me a drink. I'll come back, and I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever you got.
Oh, Florida. We'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned. We'll be right at episode 118 of the Splash Cast. Love y'all. Peace.
Get you a drink.
extravagant lifestyle. We came from a place with no smile. Now these girls going wild. Bent the ass over in the rented slingshot. F&N on me and that bitch got green dots. I was working 3 clubs, never 3 pots. Used to be on Bissonnet, popping pea height. Red roof on real Chris, I got real chicks. West Timer was a real threat, got foreign wheels next. Having money now on real jet, ain't signed the deal yet. $1 million women built that, when got a hip snatch. Come on with the drip and you can make 200 bands. She said that she wanna fuck on my OnlyFans. I done mixed the honey with the wok, I'm the man. Is it cause the smile or the watch on my hand? This time on your camera, we gon' fuck on OnlyFans. Flashlight on your phone, then start twerking with no hands. She like when I choke her and spit in her mouth again. Post a clip on Twitter, we might make 300 bands. She wanna ride on that horse. Only thing is this dick costs like a Porsche. Once she fucking with me, I'm a spoiler, of course. But she gotta show me she gon' bring me some more. I need the score. When you with that nigga, still some money out his drawer. Let's invest in something, bitch. Let's buy a store. Smack your pants on camera with this big 2x4. Since she be asking you, how do I fuck? Let's just show on with the drip and you can make 200 bands. She said that she wanna fuck on my OnlyFans. I done mixed the honey with the wok, I'm the man. Is it cause the smile or the watch on my hand? This time on your camera, we gon' fuck on OnlyFans. Flashlight on your phone, then start twerking with no hands. She like when I choke her and spit in her mouth again. Post a clip on Twitter, we might make 300 bands.
Say, Dick, where you at? Hey, I'm about to come get in your face.
Hey, find me 2 niggas. Find me the one that can say he stuck his dick in me. And find me the one that can say I told him you could blow my brains
God
out.
forgive me, I'm a felon. License plate reader, pray this contraption, block the signal. Built the case on me, melted, but bullets did not get delivered. Face, my signature, envelope, return the symbol. 32 out the magazine, Mac 11, I was feeling. Dealer's bag, Polo T, they was deaf on me, I can feel it. Whole unit held nuts on me, talking about me to they bitches. Whole unit went duck on me when it's up, I'm in the trenches. Me and Stroke Great Minded Carlo, windows tinted, mind your business. When it's unimportant to you, you don't even give it mention. Keep my name in his penis eater, he must be in his feelings. Luca Bryson, big general, reaching blocks to my lieutenants. Set the tone in the interview, they tune in and say it's healing. When the cheese may Allah be pleased, I just said a prayer for killing. Old friend, big brother snitching and he ain't get him injured. Before you speak on me, look, please go find me them 2 niggas. Find me one who stuck dick in me or the one I sunk the prison. Shell catcher, smell like fingernail polish when it paramedics, yeah. Put the yellow tape around the trap when we was cheering. Too much cut, we accidentally caught a head. Told my uncle, no more fast lane. He told me you'll be back. He told me you ain't commit murder. Lil one did that to himself.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 118 of the Splashcast as we get into our football segment, news around the league. And it's all college football. College football is back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We are here. We have made it to the golden age of every year from the fall when it is football. And I saw none of it. I only saw one game, and that was Florida State versus LSU, but we'll get there. Before we get there, let's talk about this terrible game that was South Carolina and North Carolina. It was actually billed as the game of the weekend because LSU Florida State played on Sunday. So South Carolina ended up having 13 players on the field to try to stop North Carolina, and they still couldn't stop them. And that's how the game went. They lost by 14 points, I believe, maybe 21. North Carolina and Drake May seemed to be able to do whatever they wanted against South Carolina, and I still don't believe in them. But I don't believe in the ACC.
No. I think that number one, this is what we expected out of South Carolina.
Mhm.
I still think that eventually by the end of the season, Spencer Rattler is going to torch somebody, and then they'll look at him and say, "Oh, let's,
Draft
let's
him."
Throw,
He gonna go to the
he looks
draft.
good enough to at least try." But I don't expect him to be that successful. From what I think, that Drake May is still a pretty much mediocre quarterback. I will tell you right now, I don't think that he's better than Will Levis was last year.
Ooh.
And from what I
I
understand,
don't-
Tennessee is going to be.
I don't
back
think Will
in-
Levis
in-
was good. I
Yeah,
think that's
I
an
think-
insult.
To who? To Will Levis?
Drake May.
Oh, let's go Duke.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Let's go Duke! I told y'all this is gonna be a running commentary of Duke versus Clemson, and Duke's quarterback just ran a 60-yard touchdown, 44-yard touchdown. I'm sorry.
Yep. Oh, he'll probably go first round next year. But yes, I don't believe in Drake May. UNC versus USC, cool story. This is just embarrassing that you have 13 people on one side, and then they have 11 on the other side, and you still can't get it done. Yes, Russ, Duke Riley. Give him a mayonnaise lifetime membership too. Oh my God. But definitely mid all the way around. That's just more embarrassing than anything. If you have 13 players, you can't stop 11, son. Hey, go to school. That's what I'm gonna have to tell you, son.
That was
Go ahead, find you another job.
Duke's mayo, like mayonnaise is like the mid of the sandwich. Like mayonnaise, it could be there, it could be not. It could be substituted. Don't really matter. You might zest it up with a little chipotle.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, but you could substitute other stuff. That game
No.
was the battle of the mid. It was exactly what I
Don't
expected it to
ever
see in the
put
highlights.
Mayo in the category of mid number one, nor never put Mayo in the category of these two chumps. I don't respect either one of these teams. I do respect.
You think
Mayo. It is a vital-
you think Duke's Mayo deserves better?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I don't care about. Yeah, one of these is a women's basketball school, and one of these is a men's basketball school. Everything else we do not care about, bro. Let's be real.
That's so true. Shout out to both of y'all. Hey,
FSU versus LSU.
history is cyclical, right? Everything happens all the time in the same manner. Let me tell you who it happens in every place that he goes. Brian Kelly. For some reason, Brian Kelly has y'all fooled that they are going to be a good team. He was with Notre Dame before. He had everybody fooled every year, and then they would go in there and get beat by 7,000 points because they don't have a conference to play a conference championship, so they just got to beat the mid-ass ACC and maybe USC, who had been mid before. So now he's at LSU. LSU gets beat last year. They give him excuses. This year, LSU goes to Florida and gets beat handedly, 45-24 against Florida State, and get destroyed.
And if you click that next one, you can actually see what his quote was before the game.
Oh, this one.
No, not yet. There it is.
Oh.
They're gonna beat the heck out of Florida State. Well,
He
you
said
in
what-
fact did not beat the heck out of Florida State. Now I will tell you, this loss. While I did pick LSU to kind of be the sleeper of the SEC,
I did not.
this loss did bring me joy, and I'm gonna tell you why. Cause your sister, when we got our ass whooped, she slid right in my DMs.
I didn't know that's where you was going. I didn't know that's where you was going.
Boy, she was happy. I'm talking about, I got this. I was like, oh, that's what we doing. I was like, oh, boy. But when that shoe got right on the other foot, immediately she put block Ludacris. I was like, damn, now we blocking people. You had jokes just a couple hours ago when my team was getting punished by the Utes. Now who you are? We here together in Struggleville, USA.
Boy.
But yeah, I at least like to see other people struggle with me, so I'm not struggling alone. LSU, you did bring me that joy. Florida State, let me be very clear. Y'all defense, I will consider relatively impressive. Your team, I do not trust. Gas station sushi. Don't trust you guys. Nope.
don't know, man. The thing about Florida State is they only have to beat North Carolina and Clemson. There's no, I don't. Miami. Nobody believes in Miami. Who? Florida State? Florida?
Hold on, we gonna get it pulled. We gonna get. I believe by the time we play them, we'll have a new coach. By the coach, baby.
Y'all are
Let's
awful.
see who they got this year. See if there is any place for them to.
No, if they beat Clemson.
Nope. Southern Miss, they should beat them. Boston College, Matt Ryan ain't coming back. Clemson struggling with Duke. Virginia Tech, who? Syracuse, who? Duke might be as good as Clemson. Miami, Northern Alabama, Florida, God, dog. And ladies and gentlemen, playoff team,
Florida State.
Seminoles. Florida State Criminals stealing away into your hearts. God, dog, this is a layup.
They just released a documentary about y'all, and didn't talk about half the stuff.
The documentary still did as bad as it was. Did not suck as bad as our team does. And honestly, I'm going to be clear here. I don't think our team sucks. Our coach sucks. And while I'm here, I'm also very happy that Anthony Richardson. I'm conflicted. It's like he's just in a bad situation. Like, imagine you escape. I got away from silly ass Billy, and I get right over here to Jim Irsay, who's another clown. You just went from clown to clown. You like that one woman who just cannot find the right man to be in her life. Thoughts and prayers to you, Anthony Richardson. Looks like Jonathan Taylor will be out for the first 4 games on the PUP list, and he's probably not going to play for the Colts this season. And if he doesn't play this season, that also means that he will not be a free agent. So this will continue in perpetuity. But yeah, Florida State, I guess, should. You know what? That'll be the game that Florida will win. We're going to be the spoiler for somebody. We're going to ruin somebody else's life because ours is already. It's always one person who love to do that. Just let me just ruin your life here for a little bit.
So the game of the day.
24 though. God damn.
Well, Clemson just took the lead right back. The game of the day. Oh no, they didn't. The game of the day.
Ain't out of gas.
Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes upset TCU, which I don't think was as big of an upset as people think.
No. Well,
but
hold on.
they
I want to talk
upset
about this
TCU.
specifically.
Uh-huh.
I want to talk about this specifically because this pissed me off. Now, if you listen to the podcast, I'm sure, because you're here again, Monday Night Raw, always remember, like, follow, subscribe, realest podcast in the world. Me and Reggie are truly thrilled to be back. But this pissed me off. Deion Sanders is Colorado's uber-confident football czar. When did he become a football czar?
4 days ago.
Do you refer to other? No. This is before the game. Do you refer to Nick Saban as a czar or Dabo Swinney as a czar? A czar has a negative connotation, and I don't like that because once again you have a confident black man that suddenly he's a dictator and all the rest of these things, all things that you would not refer to any of his Anglo-Saxon counterparts as. I find that as nasty work. But also after that win, I bet you no more of these type of headlines will be coming out anytime soon. This was pre.
You think this is nasty work? You think this is nasty work?
Oh, absolutely. You ever seen anybody else be referred to as a football czar?
Yeah, I have. That's why I ain't say nothing.
Have they already been widely successful?
Yeah.
Have they had an opportunity to show their full spectrum of who they were as a coach?
I don't. That's you're getting way deeper into the details of the headline.
For me, I think that this is attack on Deion. And I'm not here to save him, but I think this is nasty work.
I will say there has been a lot of negative connotation outside of what we spoke about with Jackson State with Deion. I was all for the criticism of the way that he left Jackson State. I still stand by everything that I said.
Me too.
But to say that he's inadequate as a coach, to say that he's all about himself, to say that all of these things that the narrative came out, and the thing is, that narrative came out, it got quiet over the summer. They hired him. They was like, oh, he's going to revive the program. And then he decided to basically flip the roster, and now everybody was talking about it, including College Game Day. And they picked TCU, which is fine. A lot of people would have picked TCU. I wouldn't have. But I've never seen them, and when I say them, I mean mainstream media, try to assassinate somebody's character so early. So early, and he hadn't even played a game. And his tactics are different. And he's right. They are different. To go in, but it's only different because he did it first. That's the only reason. He really didn't do it first. He did it second. But that's the only reason it's different. Nobody attacked. The better thing to say is nobody attacked Lincoln Riley for doing what he did. Lincoln Riley did the exact same thing Deion Sanders did. He took all the good players from Oklahoma, and he took them to USC. And then he used the transfer portal to get other players who weren't necessarily happy in their situation, plus the NIL to attract them to USC. But nobody said anything about them. Nobody said anything.
You know why, too.
But Deion literally did the exact same thing. He did the only thing is he took players from HBCUs. Matter of fact, he took players from HBCUs, and y'all disrespected those players from HBCUs and said it was HBCUs, but they can't do what they doing. Travis Hunter had the best game. Duke just blocked their field goal again.
Go Duke. Let's go Duke, baby.
Somebody got paid at Clemson. Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders had Deion arguably had the best debut of any college coach in football history.
During my lifetime, for sure.
Yeah, definitely during my lifetime. Shedeur Sanders and Hunter.
They had four receivers. They had four receivers with 100 yards apiece. I don't think that's ever been done in college football.
It hasn't. And Deion is crazy because Deion had been trying to tell y'all. He said, look, we have a couple of guys who should be front running for Heisman right now. He's talking about Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. But you also have Jay Horn Jr., who was out there balling, and they went out there and everybody questioned.
And the little
Deion.
running back. Little running back had a hell of a game too.
Freshman. And remind you, they still got like 2, 3, 5-star cornerbacks that they just have in the tuck. Like,
yep. And they have a kid that's got one more year, and he's supposed to be coming next year.
Oh yeah, 2025, number one running back number one athlete in the nation. Now I will say about this game, Deion, I think what makes him different as a coach is he understands the player version of being a coach. I'm going to get you the Heisman. I know that getting you the Heisman will take you from a mid to late first round pick. Yeah, you're right, Sneaky. You know who else leaned heavily on the portal? Norvell from Florida State. You're correct. A lot. Deion he's definitely getting criticized for everything, doing something playing the game that everybody else is doing. He's just doing it better. But Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders may be the best two of the top 5 college players in the nation. Travis Hunter had 11 receptions on 13 targets for 119 yards and 1 interception. Shedeur Sanders threw for 510 yards. He was 37 of 43, I believe. He only missed 6 passes and had 4 touchdowns.
Now, I hate this, and I know that this is going to be considered hate. I think that they played the right team at the right time. I did not believe in TCU going into it. There he is, Dylan Edwards, monster. But I think they got the right team. They got TCU on a hangover. They don't have their quarterback Max Duggan anymore. They were already a questionable team with a questionable schedule last year, and I feel like at this point Colorado was prepared for them. Do I think that Shedeur Sanders is one of the top 5 football players in college football? No. Travis Hunter? Yes. Yes. Travis Hunter is my only question about Travis Hunter was, and number one, he played 2 games. I need y'all to understand that. I think he played like was it 100 snaps or something like that? But he played the equivalent of 2 football games in 1 football game. And my question was, and if you were in the chat, I kept saying, hey man, double move this kid because he's got to get tired. He's playing a bunch of offensive reps and a bunch of defensive reps. And I will say at every moment in the game, when he needed to make a play, he made a play. I think that, and I said it after the game, he didn't look tired. You know what a football player looks like when you played a full game and you've been gassed. He didn't look like that. He looked like if he needed another 2 quarters out of him, he could have gave it to you easily and still been that same guy. If he can play that good and that consistently, then yeah, you got a monster. That play right there is scary. Now, this kid who said throw it to Hunter, you're an idiot. I don't think the quarterback should have thrown this play. I think that it was way too risky. It was too risky of a throw for me, but also it's a hell of a play from Hunter. This is one of the scary things about playing with the guy who we consider to be the best cornerback of all time is he's going to give you he's going to teach you the game at a level. He's going to teach you the game at the position that he mastered. And I think that Travis Hunter is going to be able to get that game from him, and he's not going to be trifled with. But hold on, wait. He's also a damn good wide receiver. He was dominant.
Yeah, he was. So while I do think that pick was spectacular, I don't think that right there didn't have nothing to do with Deion. It had nothing to do with coaching. I think Travis Hunter just has it. He has it. Like whatever it is. Everybody says they have it. Travis Hunter has it. And the fact that he played that many snaps and he was not gassed, he was not tired, and they run up-tempo offense. They run 4 wide, 4 and running back out of the backfield. And the fact that he was able to play that way and play that many snaps and was able to channel all of that energy into a play when they needed the catch. He remember, he had a catch that was ruled incomplete because he bobbled the ball while he caught it with his left hand in the end zone in the first quarter over their best corner.
Now is an old school Mawson. If you know what that means, I said it. I put it right in the he mossed him. Now, unfortunately, his foot was out. I mean, you don't expect that from a defensive player at all. So let's be clear. and he looked, man. And Russ, can he keep playing both sides of the ball? I'm gonna say it like this: until proven otherwise, yes. At this point, you gotta respect him, man.
Stop me. And the thing is, their offense has, because their offense at Shedeur was so good. Because Shedeur was so good and so accurate, a lot of those passes weren't like. Some of them were wide open, and they were schemed, and then some of them he just put the ball on the money, which is a scary combination. You can have somebody that can make all the throws, and then you have an offensive coordinator that can scheme you up to where it's not difficult. And then you have a Travis Hunter who's going to make all the difficult plays. They have a Horn Jr., who is one of the best route runners. He ran all the good routes. So they have a combination, and Deion tried to tell y'all we have skill positions. Now I will say you gonna have to shore up the defensive line, Deion. The defensive offensive line. You're gonna have to shore them trenches up. But if there's any conference that could allow you a mulligan of a year on the offensive defensive line, it is the Pac-12. You can do whatever you need to do.
I will say if he can find his way into some Big Ten SEC linemen, you got an interesting situation over there.
It's ugly.
I don't think that Shedeur has a cannon for an arm. I don't know if he can squeeze it into the smallest of windows, but I will say in the first game, he looked like he had very elite touch. And that,
yes.
He might not be the cannon arm, he might. I mean, in hell, you see Will Levis like, I got a cannon. Shit don't mean nothing. But if that touch that he has, as a guy who watches quarterbacks, try to drop it in a bucket, he consistently had good ball placement.
He did.
Very good ball placement. Like,
he did.
Do I think that him and Caleb Williams are on the same level? No. But do I think that if I'm like, for me, I like Shedeur probably as much as I like Drake May.
Yeah. I think that's for now. I think Shedeur in game 2 is as good as Drake May is in game 14. Like, I think all Shedeur needs is just tape to be better than Drake May. I think he just doesn't have enough tape at the Division I level. To me, he's better. But if I'm thinking in terms of a scout, they're going to pick Drake May over Shedeur until Shedeur outplays Drake May on this level.
Neither one of these guys, I think, is necessarily like the most elite of quarterbacks. But as good as you think that Drake May is, you better put Shedeur Sanders right next to him. That's how I feel.
I will say. Now, to end this, Deion called all the receipts. He called everybody's receipt. He said, I got the receipts. I know who they are. I think we actually have sound for this. So let's see.
I agree with that, Sneaky.
Shedeur broke a single game. From HBCU? Absolutely. The one that played at Jackson last year? The one that played at Jackson State last year. If you asked me why would I give him the starting job? I never asked. That's who they are. Shedeur broke a
She was like, yo, I didn't ask you that. I didn't say nothing. Like, what I do like about Deion, and he's correct, there's another clip that we don't have. But what I do like about Deion is he shoots you straight. He's telling you, look, y'all don't like that a black man is out here with a 75% black team acting and telling y'all, I'm going to do this. And then when I do it, ain't nothing you can really say.
So I'm a little conflicted on this.
I'm sure you
But
are.
you know me, I'm KTSC. Keep that same energy. So when you walk in there, and you right, when you up, they doubted you. And you need to say, hey, do you believe? And the reporter said, what do you mean, do you believe? He asked him again, do you believe? And he said, believe in what? He said, oh, you don't believe yet. That's fine. But if you could pull up that remaining schedule, when the game goes differently and the press be like, hey, man, are we wrong for not believing? You can't run then. That's my only thing.
So I'm going to pull up the remaining schedule, but we may differ on this. What do you think about Colorado's remaining schedule? They play Nebraska, Colorado State at home.
Each one of them. They're gonna beat Nebraska.
At home.
Rule is not ready. Nebraska's not ready. They're gonna beat them.
Colorado State at home.
State is a tricky game. That'll be the first game where they'll probably be. They won't be the underdog in that game. They're probably not gonna be the underdog in Nebraska because of this win, but I think that a lot of teams is just going to expect Nebraska to beat them. Colorado State, that's a game that they're supposed to win. That's a trap game. Oregon, that'll be a game that if they win those first 3 games, they'll probably be ranked by then, honestly. They'll probably be ranked now, to be honest. They'll be top 25. They beat TCU, you would have to put them there, right?
With this schedule,
You got to put them in the top 25.
they beat Nebraska. They beat TCU, who's number 17. TCU wasn't going to be the Big 12 champion this year, to me. I don't think TCU was going to win their division, although Baylor just lost to whoever they played. So all that's trick bag. But I don't think TCU is as good as everybody thinks they are. I think Colorado
They weren't good. They weren't that good last year. We knew what it was.
I think they were good amongst the rest. And then they played the SEC. But Deion in Colorado, and again, I think Deion is smart. You're right, Sneaky. Shedeur does need a better O-line. I think Deion is smart. You look at the schedule of this team when you take this job. Nebraska, you're gonna beat. You know you have a chance. It's a rivalry game, but you know you're gonna have to. You have a chance to beat Colorado State. You now have 1, 2, 3, 4 games left against ranked opponents. I think the season is a success if you win one of those games. Whoever it is, Oregon, USC, Oregon State, or Utah. If you win one of those games after starting 3-0, I think the season probably is a success.
I don't think that after they beat TCU the way that they did, you gotta rank them. They gotta be top 25, and they'll beat Nebraska, maybe Colorado. Oregon is gonna be ready for sure.
Ain't no more
Oregon's not
sneaking
going
up
for
on
that
them.
shit.
Ain't no more sneaking up on the team. But I don't believe in Bo Nix.
Oregon knows that game is too important for them. Oregon understands that, hey, you can, this is one of the few chance, like this is your chance to get into the playoffs. So yeah, you got to beat them, and USC not playing with them either. USC is, I know Caleb Williams is going to go out in that game and say, hey, y'all, Shedeur Sanders.
I probably would pick Colorado to not to win, but to stick with USC in this. I think that game is a 52-45 game.
Hell no. Lincoln Riley is another guy who's going to have to show you that there's a level of difference between me and those guys. Because if you don't, then if they don't, and I feel, you know, USC has been my team last year, and I'm rocking with them again this year. They have to show that we are head and shoulders above this guy, Lincoln Riley.
I don't think that they're head and shoulders. I don't. Oregon. I don't believe in Bo Nix. 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 I don't believe Oregon is as good as you think they are. They've lost a lot of players to transfer portal as well. They lost their 2 starting linebackers that were all world on defense. Plus, Bo Nix is going to Bo Nix himself one of these games. I think it'll be against Colorado because he can't handle the limelight. USC, I think USC beats them, but I think it's closer than you think. But USC has like so much talent on offense.
USC is going to try to beat them by 20.
And unfortunately,
they're going to use you. If I'm Lincoln Riley and I'm Caleb Williams, I'm going to use this game to prove of who I really am. Y'all think that we're as good as these other teams. I want to let you. I'm trying to beat them by 28. I'm trying to ruin Deion's season. He's the hottest coach.
I just think
now.
I think that'll be the game where you will finally see the talent disparity. I don't know if you'll see the talent disparity against Oregon, but USC, because they got that rookie, that freshman athlete. I don't who had 3 touchdowns on every facet of the game. I think eventually this is when you'll see it'll be. I can see you're right. I can see them winning by 28, but I think they'll pull away in the fourth quarter versus beating them to death.
USC is going to. If I'm Lincoln Riley, I'm trying to punch Colorado in the face, in the nose, in the stomach. I want you to walk out of there saying, this is different.
But other than Oregon and USC, I think they could beat. Oh, and Utah. I don't think they can beat Utah. But other than those 3 games, 9-3 still, or 10-3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh no.
6, 7, 8.
10-3.
10-3 is going to be a success for Deion at Colorado. Then they're going to the Big 12 after this, which is interesting in itself.
You think he ends the season what?
10-3.
Hell no.
Who do you think they lose to?
UCLA not going for that. Stanford not going for that. No, hell no. These other teams.
So you think this game against TCU is a trick bag?
Yes, 100%. TCU is not a big team. They're not a strong team. That's the reason we knew that they couldn't hang with the SEC. They're the right team for Deion at the right time. That's the reason I said keep that same energy, because you got there early. Now you got to hold that position. Because if I'm a reporter, you showed up with that shit talking about, do you believe now? Hey, when you lose, am I still supposed to believe?
Yeah. They won 1 game last year. I have matched last season's output.
That don't matter.
Yeah, it do.
That don't matter for you.
Yeah, it do. But anyway, moving on. We can talk about this all day. So Georgia won.
Hell, Lord.
Against Middle Tennessee State. Georgia won. What was it? UT Martin. I'm sorry. UT Martin.
Dawson Prayers and Russell. You know, that's both his teams. He played at University of Tennessee, Martin Skyhawks.
I'm going to let y'all know right now, I hate Mike Bobo. Hopefully, I'll have to eat crow at the end of the season and say Mike Bobo was just out here, you know, first game jitters, new quarterback, new regime, new offensive coordinator at UGA. But he looks like the same Mike Bobo who didn't run the ball, who tried to overthrow and always got us beat when we could just run over the team. But I'm assuming that this was just first game jitters. Let's get to the nitty gritty. So, Florida plays Utah. Florida's players walk in and say, oh man, this little ass stadium. Utah, after beating Florida, says little ass dub. I hope y'all sign Sunbelt Billy to a contract extension. I hope Billy beats a ranked Florida State team. I hope Billy beats a ranked Florida State team.
About firing Billy.
No, you talking about firing Billy.
No, not me. There it is. No. So, yes. He's 12-18 over the last 30 games. 3 of these wins were by 3 points. 2 of these were FCS games. 2 were University of South Florida. Another one versus Florida Atlantic University. They're already talking about looking into his buyout. Send Billy home. I told y'all last year, game 1, Billy was not the guy. As soon as I saw the offensive package, I said he's got to go. Y'all told me I was crazy. I said he had one of the best quarterbacks in college football, and everybody thought I was crazy, and then Anthony Richardson got drafted 4. I'm not nuts. Billy ain't it.
That don't mean you was right about him being the best quarterback in college football.
And
Josh, what's his name? Josh Allen wasn't one of the best quarterbacks in college football.
Yes, he was.
At Wyoming?
Really
No way.
was.
No, sir.
Yes, he was. He was for sure. Absolutely. But fire Billy. And I know that I'm right now. I knew I was right last year. But when Reggie sees the wide receiver screen and he like, oh, damn. This is
Oh, yeah, I text you like, damn, that was the first play? Like, they know you go call that. Like, they done said that for 2 years. That's how you run. That's the first play?
Y'all don't understand how much time I really invest into my team. Okay. I care about offense. I consider myself an offensive. Like, I really care about offense. And I also really care about my team. And it's very important for us, even if we don't have the best defense, to at least have an offense that's potent. Like, that's one of the things that would, at Florida, if you score a bunch of points and you lose, we as fans will be okay. Man, Mr. Trubisky. But soon as I saw Billy run that offense with Anthony Richardson, I said, hey, he got to go. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not.
Remember, he ran it with Emory Jones first.
Who the fuck knows where Emory Jones is? He should have never been playing quarterback in the first place because you were not a quarterback, Emory. You could have been playing wide receiver and probably got it to the pros and been good. But that's beside the point. So
I'm putting him back on the screen.
I knew that old Screen Billy was gonna blow it. And here he come back year 2 running the same stupid ass screen on 3rd down. And
first.
When me and Reggie agree on something, I know that I was right from the beginning. And Reggie's like, oh no, this is bad. So now I just have to sit here and wait. Like, I'm okay with it. Now, and the part that I thought was Utah did not play with their starting quarterback, Cam Rising.
They played 2 quarterbacks.
I think is a very good quarterback. I think the Cam Rising. Now, that's the reason I think the Shedeur is good, but I don't think the Shedeur is good as Cam Rising. So
I think I think he's a better passer.
hell, sure, Cam Rising is a better quarterback. If I got to pick a player, Cam Rising is a better player today than Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it, I put Cam Rising kind of in the Tim Tebow category of a guy who just find a way to win you a game. He might not necessarily be the best at anything. But
Exactly. I think going to the league, I think you would take Shedeur over Cam Rising.
Okay, now, yeah. Sure. Those two different things, though. But I'm talking about today as a better quarterback. I think Cam Rising is a fantastic college football quarterback. What the pros may bring to him is a different conversation. But Billy has to go. Billy is going to be fired.
Underlying the whole point of this conversation is Billy got to go.
Let's you know how we say, let's circle back, put a pin in that, and we'll come back to it. Travis Etienne saying that his brother should probably go play for defense. I mean, for prime is correct. This offense.
Hey, Lil Etienne.
monster.
Let me jump in real quick. Lil Etienne, you want to show loyalty and say, nah, we gonna shake back? Nah, brother. Look.
Shake out.
Prime gonna get you some money, and he may get you. He gonna talk you into the league. That's all you need. Get you some money
Honestly,
while you in college and talk you to the league. You need to leave, Billy.
I'm gonna be very honest. Etienne doesn't need Deion. It would be very nice for him to go to Colorado. That dude's a good football player, and I want all of the good football players to get the hell away from Billy Napier. I 100% think that Etienne has a place in the NFL very soon. Stinky, you can kiss my ass on them tackles. But yeah, fire Billy, fire the coach. In the words,
I just read what he
words
said.
of my uncle Curtis, fire the coach. He needs to go. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'm gonna speak it into existence. I know it's probably wild to say.
It
send me
is.
Cliff Kingsbury. Send me Cliff Kingsbury.
That'd be a good hire.
ahead.
That's a Florida hire. hire.
I think it's the most Floridian hire. Come on, bro. Bring the Ray-Bans. Go ahead.
Because you're not gonna get Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is the perfect hire, but it's you need another year of Billy to get Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, give me, because Cliff Kingsbury is in need of
Nothing.
Oh,
He runs better than
Cam Rising is just more like
he runs.
not
He
the best
runs
at
better than
anything.
Shedeur Sanders. That's the answer. He don't do it. That's it.
he definitely runs better than Shedeur. He just has awareness. He's like a crafty veteran quarterback.
He's older,
But
and
he's
he
gonna
runs.
he's gonna cap out. That's gonna be the thing about him is he's probably not gonna be able to get much better than he already is. He probably has a future of being a good backup quarterback. I'll definitely
Quarterbacks
take him.
coach.
Oh yeah.
He's a quarterbacks coach.
100%.
He's gonna be
Somewhere-
He's gonna be an offensive
Somewhere
coordinator
between a
at
backup and an offensive coordinator. 100%.
Yeah.
But
Shedeur has a chance
He's
to be a
just
starter.
guy. He's just a guy who knows how to play the quarterback position and won't blow it for you.
Speaking of
But-
coaches, so what you gonna do? Let's
Fire Billy. Fire Billy. Bye Billy. We can name this episode whatever you want to. Go to hell, Billy. You were the person who wanted to do all the saving for Billy. You're like, nah, man.
Yes, I want to
yes,
say Billy. Yes, I do. Keep him as long as you can. What do you mean? Do you see the G on my helmet? Didn't you say the same thing about Rick? Every time y'all we re-signed Rick, you was like, yes, I want y'all to keep Sideshow Billy.
That is one thing about Florida is we are decisive. Once you're a loser, get the fuck on, my guy. See you later. Adios, mi amigos. Then we just polish up on our Spanish as we went to Colombia. Go home, Billy. We don't need you no more. See you later.
So Arkansas State. This was the weekend of blowouts. So you had Oregon that scored 81 points. I think Central, even on the NAA, FBS, FCS category, Central beat Central beat
lift every voice.
Arkansas State got beat 73-0. And Coach Bush Jones, the crier from Tennessee, was crying on the sideline.
Didn't he coach at Miami too?
I don't care. Butch Jones was crying on the sideline against
Should have been.
Oklahoma. One thing is just get us destroyed. Yo.